Welcome to day 4 of the Division II Baseball Championship in Cary, North Carolina, where today we have our second elimination game of the tournament as Southern New Hampshire takes on Westchester. I'm Joe Castellano along with Lincoln Rose. Another beautiful day for baseball. We'll have the doubleheader. And Lincoln, Southern New Hampshire coming off a close loss against Angelo State 7-4, despite the fact that they had back-to-back home runs in the second inning of that game. While Westchester, they lost on Sunday night, another close game, 3-1 to North Greenville. Only had 5 hits in that game, so they're hoping to get their offense going.
Yeah, Southern New Hampshire got a good start out of Joshua Burge, but ultimately could not give him enough run support. Coming up 3 runs shy, you mentioned Westchester, number 8 seed. We have our second elimination game of the week. Westchester falling to North Greenville after getting a nice start from Braden Fosnut.
Sophomore Joe Sperone on the mound for Westchester, facing Daniel Rivera leading off the ball game. And here we go. And that's a called strike, 0-1 to Rivera. Your home plate umpire, Drew Eaton, Trevor Hinson at first base, Adam Berg at second, Ray Chamberlain, the third base umpire. Rivera hitting .291, 9 homers, 33 RBIs, and he fouls it back and falls behind 0-2 in the count.
Rivera, third-team All-Conference, the third-year sophomore out of New Britain, Connecticut.
For this Southern New Hampshire team that has won 14 of its last 17 games, they come in 46-11. 0-2 to Rivera. Line drive, base hit into left field. Taken on one bounce by Kalick out there. So Rivera with a leadoff single, and right away you have to worry about him on the bases if you're Westchester, because Rivera has 32 steals and 38 attempts.
Well, Daniels had 48 hours basically to be thinking about that at bat. Makes the most of it. See if his teammates can bring him around for an early advantage here in the top of the first.
And he is off to a base stealers lead over there at first base. A really big lead. Ferrara holding him on. There he goes, swinging a foul ball at the plate. So Rivera will go back to first base. Christian Mercedes at the plate. He's hitting .301, 6 homers and 43 RBIs.
Mercedes was your Northeast 10 Conference Tournament MVP. Another look at the great jump. Just has to come back because of the foul ball.
Not wasting any time trying to put pressure on the defense. Westchester's the team that steals a lot of bases, but the Penmen also want to put some pressure on early on. And now time called. 80 degrees at game time. Another gorgeous day. Humidity maybe a little higher than what it's been. Rain is in the forecast tomorrow, so we will tell you right off the bat that the games are starting earlier. Our first game tomorrow starts at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time to try to beat the rain. Ground ball, hit towards shortstop, hit slowly. Sestawicki has only one play. That's the first to get Mercedes. Rivera goes to second on the play.
Yeah, still a good job by Sean Sestawicki over there at short, making sure he gets the out as Rivera finds himself in scoring position now.
Defensively, Westchester has Kalick, Wright, and Cantwell left to right across the outfield. The infield, third base, Flaherty. Sestawicki, you saw at shortstop. Miles at second. Ferrara at first. And DiMucci is the catcher this time around. Sam Henry at the plate, hitting .329, 14 homers, and 53 RBIs. Sperone deals, and it's way outside, 1-0.
Again, those 14 home runs for Sam Henry have tied the program record for most in a single season. He ties Dakota Mulcahy from last year. Of course, Dakota's still on the team with 9 home runs this year.
Mulcahy in the number 5 spot in the order. We're in the number 3 spot right now.
But Henry's hit 5 home runs in this postseason alone.
Sperone, a long look at second, deals, and it's up and away, 2-0. Joe Sperone from Broomall, Pennsylvania. The sophomore, 8-2 with a 3.53 ERA. Throws his fastball mid to upper 80s, has a curveball and a changeup, and he has been very durable. He worked a lot in the postseason to help Westchester get here to the Division II championship. There's a strike, 2-1. In fact, in the Atlantic Region game against Seton Hill, he worked 5 innings, and then the second game of a doubleheader that same day in that regional, he worked an inning in the second game. He was also busy in the third and deciding game of the Super Regional. And bluffed to second as he worked 4 2/3 innings and no runs allowed against East Stroudsburg. And that was 2 days after he started the first game of the Super Regional and worked 6 innings as a starter. So he was a starter and a reliever. That pitch is just off the outside corner, 3-1.
May have noticed a moment there, the Penman entire dugout looking up to the sky. Quite a bit of air traffic in this area, and that was one of the more impressive military planes that just flew over. Not officially a flyover, though, for the D2 Baseball Championship.
Flying through some clouds today. Blocking the sun right now. The 3-1 to Henry is low, ball 4. Worked a breaking ball to him and walked him, so 2 on, 1 out for the cleanup hitter, Nick Schwartz, who was the best hitter on this team, hitting .402, 9 homers and 44 RBIs.
Yeah, you walk the top home run man this year. As you see the sequence that Henry saw, not much that was tempting. And then finally ball 4. You mentioned Schwartz, as well as he hit this year better than 400. He came into this week in the postseason hitting .450.
Trying to deliver here with 2 on and 1 out in the first inning. Swing and a miss, 0-1 to Schwartz. No wind, outfield straight away. So if you hit one well, you'll have a chance to get it out. Sometimes we see the wind, and we've seen it coming in from right field that has affected some of the balls that seem like they were hit well.
Nick was 1 for 4 against Angelo State in that Sunday game.
Ground ball to second, could be 2. Miles to second, 1. Sestawicki to first, in time, double play. And that retires the side. The twin killing off the bat of Schwartz, and Sperone gets out of it at the end of 1/2 inning. Southern New Hampshire, nothing. Westchester coming to bat. Southern New Hampshire coming up empty in the top of the first, and Westchester coming up in the bottom of the first inning as the Penmen fans look on. It might be some of the players that didn't make the roster right there. They look like ball players.
Yeah, you can only have a 29-man roster in the postseason and here at the championship, so that means you hope boosters and other individuals can help travel your other players so that they can come out and just kind of be a part of it all.
Angus McCloskey is a part of it all. The senior right-hander getting the start, 9-1, 2.52 ERA. Opponents batting just 194 against the Long Island native from Farmingdale, New York, and he has been spectacular in his last 6 starts. He's gone 44 1/3 innings, so he's pitched deep into a lot of games, only given up 6 earned runs in those 6 starts, and he has a 1.22 ERA in those 6.
Seems like a pretty good option for your elimination game.
This fastball will go 90 to 92, but can get up to 96 miles an hour, and has a good slider. Facing Zach Wright, leading off for the Golden Rams. Takes a strike, 0-1. Wright hitting at .310, 3 homers and 23 RBIs.
Saw Zach go 1 for 4 in the game against North Greenville on Sunday.
That's outside, 1-1.
That was a third inning single when he tried to spark an early lead.
Two and 1 the count to Wright, and he's another leadoff hitter. If he gets on, he's got a ton of speed. He set a school record with 39 stolen bases, so it's imperative to keep him off the bases.
Went on to be second team All-Region.
Swing and a miss. Couldn't catch up with the fastball.
First team All Penn State Athletic Conference East Division. One of the 4 LaSalle transfers.
And not only doing it with a bat, he's done a great job playing center field. In fact, he made a catch that they're still talking about in the regional against Slippery Rock, where he robbed someone of a home run going over the wall. The 2-2 is inside, 3-2 now to Zach Wright. He'll be followed by Justin Horn and Joe Kalick in this Westchester batting order. They want to get their offense going. They only had 5 hits, and they struck out 10 times in their game against North Greenville that they lost 3-1. 3-2. Low ball 4. That's the 38th walk of the season for Wright to lead the team.
All right, remember Southern New Hampshire got their leadoff man on with a single. We're unable to manufacture a run. Let's see if Westchester, with its season on the line, can get Zach Wright around to score. As another look at the sequence with Angus McCloskey here. He has the first batter he faces in the start today. And then one more to put Wright on first.
Horn hitting .317, takes high for a ball. No homers, 25 RBIs for the designated hitter. In the outfield, it's Kennedy, Taveras, and Henry from left to right. The infield has Mercedes at third, Rivera at short. There's a throw over to first taken by LaRocca, not in time. Your second baseman, Jimenez. Your catcher is Mulcahy. And Mulcahy could have his hands full because this Westchester team, they don't only have Wright that steals bases. They're one of the top stolen base teams in the country with 154, third in the nation, although they didn't steal any bases in their first game. They just didn't have any opportunities, really.
Going to have to inspect their luggage when they head back to the airport at some point this week.
Because they're stealing things like bases. Their top three hitters each have over 20 stolen bases this season. Right off to a short lead right now at first base. Gets a little bit more of the throw over, and he's back in safe. Thing about Wright, according to Coach LaRosa, is that he works on his base running when other players are in the cage or getting ground balls. Wright will be over on the bases working on this. Safe. That was pretty close, but he works on his lead and his jump and getting back. So, you don't see a lot of players that work on it, but it paid off right there because he just did get back safe. Two and one to Horn. Nobody out, runner at first. That's outside, 3-1.
We saw Justin go 1 for 3. He singled in that 6th inning on Sunday, scored the only run of the ball game for Westchester before that inning was up. Right now, trying to help advance Zach Wright.
Middle infielders cheating in, looking at turn two. 3-1 in there for a strike, 3-2. Well, this is an elimination game in Westchester. They can feel comfortable because they already came through the Atlantic region in their super regional, losing the first game. And then they won the next two under pressure, beating East Stroudsburg to get here the D2 championship. Throw to first, diving back safe is right. And it was the same thing for Southern New Hampshire. They lost their first game to Malloy in the East region, super regional, and then won the next two.
Well, it's two programs we've seen frequently. Fourth trip over the past decade for Southern New Hampshire.
There goes the runner. Pitch high, ball 4. First and second. 2 walks to start out for McCloskey.
Yeah, right down to second now. Horn with the walk will join him to make way for Joe Kalick. Again, Westchester, your only team here this week that has previously won a national championship, though it's a completely different roster from the group we saw in Grand Prairie. Take it in 4 games in 2017. And you got to be able to give your defense a chance to help you out.
The pitching coach comes out. Casey Albin talking things over with Angus McCloskey. I mean, he goes full to the first 2 batters and walks them. One thing to be careful of here as you're going to face Joe Kalick is that those 2 runners are adept at stealing. You could have a double steal because they do like to run a lot, and this could be a chance to do that. Probably part of the conversation there on the mound.
Our home plate umpire, Drew Eaton, trying to wind things up.
I actually think that's Coach Loazo out there. So even though he has a pitching coach, he wanted to settle things down. So 12 pitches to the first 2 batters for McCloskey.
Left fielder, number 6,
Coach Loazo, by the way, his 14th season, 10th straight NCAA tournament appearance, and made the regional finals for the 6th straight year. And his school making its 4th trip to the D2 championship, 2nd in a row, Bluff to 2nd. They were here last year.
Both these teams were here in 2012 when Westchester won it.
Yeah, Westchester's the only team in the field that has won a national championship, winning it a couple of times. That pitch outside, 1-0.
That was the first time Scott Loiseau brought his penmen here. They've been back 3 more times, including this year.
Last year, they lost 2 one-run games to Seton Hill and Wingate. So that was excruciating, and then they lose their first game here this season. Pitch high, Joe Kalick with a count of 2-0. Kalick hitting .274, 3 homers, 31 RBIs.
Well, just a reminder, starting pitching was the biggest question entering this year for Southern New Hampshire. They lost their 4 primary starters from last year's squad, so that meant they only had 2 returning starts.
Throw to second, got him. He picks off right.
Yeah, out by a mile.
That's a critical mistake. I mean, I talked about how he likes to put pressure on the defense, and he could steal third, but you never want to get picked off. Just handing it out to the opponent there.
Yeah, Wright froze. And I don't know if somehow got stuck on his slide back, but that's an easy call.
Nice tag by Rivera, the shortstop there. Just caught that ball and slapped it down quickly. Meanwhile, at the plate, the count is 3-0 to Kalick with a runner at first, 1 out. Klosky deals, and it's a 4-pitch walk. So he has walked the first 3 batters of the game. He's fortunate that he had a pickoff, but still, now it's 2 on and 1 out for Mike Ferrara.
Moments ago, the pickoff. And just not even close.
Good move. Excellent play by Rivera. Here's Ferrara batting .365, 9 homers and 64 RBIs. McCloskey's got to be thinking, though, he can get out of this with a double play ball, which would be amazing. Swing and a miss. Big rip by Ferrara, 0-1.
I mean, Joe, we've just seen a pitcher walk the first 3 batters of the ball game with the season on the line. But that caught stealing has made a significant impact on the state of mind here.
There's a strike. He gets ahead of Ferrara, 0-2. So he's been having troubles locating early on, but now ahead in the count. 81 Ks and 71 1/3 innings for McCloskey coming in. Check swing. Did he go? No, he didn't, says the first base umpire Trevor Hinson, and that was close. Did he go? Oh, man. One ball, 2 strikes to Ferrara. Great speed on the bases with Horn and Kalick. McCloskey deals. Line drive, 1 hopper to short. Grabbed by Rivera. Throws to second, 1. Jimenez to first. In time, double play. McCloskey gets out of it. He walks the first 3 batters. He picks one off, and then he gets a double play ball, and a ball that was hit hard, but Rivera flagged it. 6-4-3 to retire the side. Both teams with double plays to end the innings. 0-0. We head to the second, 0-0. Southern New Hampshire and Westchester, and a foul ball here for Dakota Mulcahy, hitting .287, 9 homers and 48 RBIs.
Joe, we've seen 4 walks already through 1 inning of play. We've seen both leadoff batters reach. We've seen nobody score, thanks to a couple double plays.
Yeah, inning-ending twin killings. That's a foul ball. 0-2 now to Mulcahy. Pitcher's best friend. And if you have any nerves as a pitcher in an elimination game, maybe those nerves got eliminated by the double play. The infield is playing Mulcahy to pull quite a bit. The center spot there for Sestawicki, the shortstop. He's out there in center field. Swing and a miss, strike 3, so Mulcahy is out number 1. Now they'll move into a more conventional defensive position for Michael LaRocca, hitting .267 with a home run and 10 RBIs. LaRocca, who missed most of the season with a couple of injuries, had a broken hand and a hamstring injury. and has returned for the Super Regional, and here he is in the Division II Championship, the first baseman for the Penn men. Way inside. Did it hit him? Yes, it did. So LaRocca will go to first base on the hit by pitch. Another free pass.
Yeah, that one grazing the protector on his elbow.
Left fielder, number 6, Alex Kennedy.
Now Alex Kennedy hitting .352, 3 homers, 30 RBIs for the Penn men.
Getting that look there at LaRocca. It's not the typical sticking out the elbow with all that armor on. He actually was sincerely trying to get out of the way.
Swing and a miss at a changeup. 0-1 to Kennedy. Gotta love the spikes that LaRocca has on over there at first base. I mean, those things are bright.
Well, he has not been caught stealing this year. He is 0 for 0.
Those are spikes that you don't steal bases with.
I don't think you don't wear them in the infield dirt.
They're too good looking to steal bases with. Swing and a miss on another changeup, 0-2. I mean, those spikes right there, those are shiny. Does he shine those all night before he comes to the game?
Yeah, it spray paints them.
And look at the difference of his spikes and Farrar, the first baseman.
Was that taupe?
Those are well worn. Runner at first, 1 out here in the second inning of a scoreless game. Pitch outside, 1-2. Yesterday we saw Illinois Springfield eliminated as they played in the first elimination game against Rollins. So Rollins advances to play Southern Arkansas tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. Pop-up foul back of the plate and out of play to Kennedy. Meanwhile, the winner of this game stays alive and plays at approximately 2 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. They don't get a day off. They have to play tomorrow. The loser of this goes home.
I think for the rest of the week, we phrase it, get to play tomorrow.
Yeah, true. Bouncing ball first base side, it remains 1-2. They get to play, but they don't get a rest. Whereas Rollins, they played yesterday, they got a day off.
Well, we have one team that we're not going to see for 2 days.
That's right. That's Point Loma. That's a big advantage for the Sea Lions.
They could go back to San Diego if they wanted to.
Well, their bats have been cooking here. I don't think they want to leave. The way they're swinging the bats. 1-2 to Kennedy. Breaking ball is high, 2-2. Kennedy homered in the first game of this tournament for Southern New Hampshire, and he did it on the first pitch that he saw after a home run by Jimenez. They have flip-flopped in the lineup, but Jimenez was batting in front of him the other day and hit a 3-run homer, and Kennedy homered. This time, he strikes out swinging for out number 2.
That leaves the runner, LaRocca, still over there at first now with 2 outs. But as you noted, Ricky Jimenez already has a 3-run shot on his resume this week on Sunday. Let's see if he can add 2 more right here.
Unfortunately for the Penn men, they didn't have enough offense in that game against the potent Angelo State team that won at 7-4.
Yeah, that briefly gave them a 4-1 lead against Angelo State. Those back-to-back home runs. They did chase the starting pitcher for Angelo State in the second inning, but brilliant relief for the Rams. Kept them in the winners column, and we'll see them later on today against North Greenville.
Throw over to first, back in safe is LaRocca.
And Ricky Jimenez has had the hot bat as of late. Split a lot of this time at second base with Cam Caraher, his teammate.
Swings and misses, 1-1 the count. Tavares on deck for Southern New Hampshire.
Again, we saw that hot bat the second inning on Sunday.
Those 2 home runs giving Southern New Hampshire 81 home runs on the year. That's a school record for one season. Ripped down the left field line. That's a base hit. Kalick picking it up. Heading to third base is LaRocca. The throw, too late. Runners at the corners with 2 down.
Yeah, LaRocca sees that ball hit into left. He's still going to stretch it from first to third. The single with 2 outs from Jimenez. Your first hit of the inning. for Southern New Hampshire.
Now, Idelson Tavares coming up. You can see he was looking to see where's that throw going to be so he could see where he would slide. Tavares hitting .283, 6 homers, 32 RBIs for the number 9 hitter. Got hit by a couple of pitches the other day. Joe Sperone in trouble again. High fly ball center field. Does he get out of it again? As right is under it? He does. How about Sperone? Got the double play ball in the first inning after 2 men were on. Now with 2 on, he gets the fly ball out. And at the end of 1.5, Southern New Hampshire nothing, West. Nice day to lounge and watch some baseball. If you're a Penmen fan, make sure you put some sunblock on.
Penmen are back for a second straight year. Only Angelo State joined the Penmen from last year's field, returning this year. Last year's national champion Wingate came through the elimination bracket to win it all.
It's possible.
Bulldogs don't come back this year. It's been a while since we've seen a defending champion back in Cary. Augustana, we haven't seen them since they won it. It was close. They were in the Super Regional this past weekend. Tampa, same can be said for them.
Here's Luke Cantwell leading it off. Swings and misses. That was the voice of Lincoln Rose. I'm Joe Castellano. We're here for every game on NCAA.com throughout the week at the D2 Championship. Here at Coleman Field, Cary, North Carolina. The USA Baseball Training Facility. And it is just a great field. I mean, it is in impeccable condition. Cantwell hitting .309, 12 homers, 52 RBIs, and he has a full count, which is nothing new. I mean, that was happening a lot in the first inning for McCloskey. He walked the first 3 batters. He picked one of them off and got a double play ball, but he had to feel fortunate that no runs were scored in that inning. 3-2 to Cantwell. Fisted in the air towards shortstop for Rivera. 1 away. That'll bring up Keith Flaherty hitting .290, 4 homers, 37 RBIs.
The third baseman, number 23, Keith Flaherty.
And Cantwell with a payoff pitch there. Just trying to protect the plate. Retired for the first out.
Flaherty, the Westchester third baseman up there. And he takes a called strike. Flaherty was on the 2017 team, but he was a redshirt that year. As a redshirt, he didn't travel to Texas. The D2 championship was in Grand Prairie, Texas, outside of Dallas. So he was kind of chomping at the bit to play in this one since he has not played in the D2 championship.
So you're suggesting he might be our first ever former viewer who's now playing in the Division II baseball championship?
Yeah, I mean, that had to be tough. You're part of the team, but you didn't get to go there. He actually graduated in 2021, but still eligible to play. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit into center field for Flaherty. He does not want his stay in Cary to be short-lived. A 1-out single.
Just batting a little under 300 on the year. As Keith finds his second base hit this week.
Number 9, Sean Sastawicki.
Flaherty, who decided to come back 2 weeks before classes started for Westchester, he said, "I'm coming back." Coach LaRosa said, "Okay, I'll take you." Here's Sean Sastawicki hitting .261, 4 homers, 25 RBIs, a shortstop for the Golden Rams.
Still looking for his first hit this week. 0 for 4 back on Sunday.
1-1 the count. Sastawicki, a sophomore from Mount Royal, New Jersey. Runner goes. Pitch inside. Mulcahy throws to second. Too late.
Yeah,
so there's the speed that we talked about. That's a 12 stolen base for Flaherty.
Mulcahy has to grab this one out of the dirt. Not going to be an easy throw to make after that. Makes the most of it.
And for Mulcahy, I mean, he's got to be thinking, man, I already had to deal with 6 stolen bases from Angelo State the other day. Foul back, count 2-2. 6 stolen bases for Angelo State. Now I've got to deal with this team that's one of the best base stealing teams in the country. Although Mulcahy was a DH the other day, but he is a catcher, and his team had to deal with it. Let's put it that way. Ground ball, base hit, left field. Coming around third base, Flaherty. Here's the throw by Kennedy. The slide. He is out. What a throw by Kennedy from left field to keep this a scoreless game.
Well, Keith Flaherty, coming from second base, was being given the green light the entire way, waving him home. Your only argument here for a coach is going to be asking for obstruction. But another look, getting that wave all the way home, but the throw just doesn't even make it close.
How about that job making the tag by Mulcahy, showing why he should be the catcher after being the DH the other day. And are they going to look at this?
Only upon coach's request, he is going to ask for review.
It did take a while for the out sign. Is that because maybe the ball was juggled a little bit by Mulcahy? He was right there in position.
Well, we're going to have time to speculate on every possible thing they're looking at here. A reminder that Division II baseball, since 2017, we've had review here in the championship. They don't have it during the regular season or earlier in the NCAA.
What a perfect throw that was. And great
Tagged
positioning. I mean, that's obvious that he's out there, but did he hang on to the ball the whole time?
Absolutely. So your only hope is that you might get an obstruction call.
Yeah, because the home plate umpire, Drew Eaton, did a great job there because he waited to make sure that Mulcahy still had it in his mitt.
Yeah, this has been a pretty easy decision.
Yeah, I mean, there's no obstruction on that one. He caught the ball right where he needed to.
Yep. Yeah, the official challenge was asking for an obstruction call, but that was denied.
Yeah, you have a close play like that, sometimes it's worth it to give it a try to have them take a look.
Understand, even though it makes sense to us, if you're receiving a ball, to get yourself planted where you want to be for the tag, that is not permitted. You have to provide a clear path to the next base, or in this case, to home plate.
Right.
But that was not deemed obstruction.
Here's John DiMucci at the plate. Runner at second with 2 outs. Pitch down and away, 1-0. And you talk about pitchers who are Houdini. We talk about it all the time, but McCloskey truly is Houdini. I mean, the way he got out of the first inning, 3 walks to start out, a pickoff and a double play. Now he gives up a couple of base hits. He gets a runner thrown out at the plate. Can he continue to go along like this and keep zeros on the board?
Heard he's going to pitch the third with handcuffs on.
DiMucci, the catcher, hitting .222 with a home run and 13 RBIs. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt, 2-1. Well, college baseball has had that rule, I think, for a long time where you have to have the clear path, and you don't want collisions. In Major League Baseball, before the Buster Posey injury, you could just, set up right in front of the plate. You could basically sit on the plate. And if you're the runner, you had no choice but to crash into the catcher in the Major League level. Then Posey broke his leg, and they changed the rule where it's a little more like college, where you have to have that clear path. And you cannot crash into the catcher anymore. Pitch to DiMucci with a runner going, and it's fouled out of play right side. 2-2. Sestawicki had taken off for third base. So even with 2 outs, the Golden Rams like to run.
I want to remind you, coaches can challenge up to 2 times throughout a game. If you get it correct, you keep the challenge. But in that case, coach lost one of his 2. Come the 7th inning, umpires can also have an initiated review from their head of officiating here.
And as you said, if you get it right, you keep going and you get more challenges.
Yeah, you're not, at no point are you ever punished for the umpires making the incorrect call.
But Coach LaRosa lost one of his challenges right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes to DiMucci. Pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Again, McCloskey gets out of it, this time with a strikeout. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, a runner left. Great throw from left field from Kennedy. Excellent tag by Mulcahy. And at the end of 2, it's 0-0.
Well, no shortage of base runners in this ball game, though at the moment still a drought. Scoreless through 2. Lincoln Rose, Joe Castellano with you. As for Westchester, again, they had multiple base hits last inning after having 3 base runners the inning prior. But the Golden Rams back out there defending the diamond, just trying to hold serve. Here's the top of the order now for the second time. For Southern New Hampshire, Daniel Rivera, who led off with a single back in the first. Daniel would wind up being stranded on second. One of 3 runners left on today by the Penman. Sophomore squares around a bunt. The appeals say he withdrew the bunt in time.
We've had plenty of base runners, Lincoln, but we've had 2 double plays. We've had a pickoff play and a runner thrown out at the plate.
I'm being told it is not a perfect game.
Pretty good for the defenses, though. The double plays and that throw from left field from Kennedy.
I don't know if there's anything left for us to jinx in this game. The 2-1 to Rivera. Climbs a little bit for that one. This will take a moment to resume with that ball bouncing around in foul territory. Daniel Rivera, Christian Mercedes, Sam Henry. A single, a ground out, and a walk back in the first. The minimum 3 for Sperone to face here in the third. We haven't seen a pitcher face the minimum, though we recommend it. Again, Sperone looking for his 9th win on the year, an 8-2 record, making his 12th start, 16th appearance on the year. The payoff pitch, fought foul. We talked about Westchester winning a couple of national titles, but they're back this year with Mike LaRosa, the former Golden Ram in his own right, an 05 graduate of the program, reunited with teammate Brian Lindros on the coaching staff. This one out, foul territory, carries over and just beyond the reach of Mike Ferrara. That'll add a second life here for Daniel Rivera with a payoff pitch pending.
Both of these head coaches were pretty good players. You mentioned LaRosa playing for Westchester, and Scott Loazzo, the head coach for Southern New Hampshire, he played at Franklin Pierce. And how about this for a parallel? Both of these head coaches at one point played in the Can-Am League, an independent professional league. They both had that opportunity.
Canadian American League.
Yeah.
Again, the 3-2. It's a leadoff walk to Daniel Rivera, as Rivera has now led off twice, each time reaching base. A single in the first, a walk here in the third.
Now batting third baseman, Christian Mercedes.
I don't think these pitchers feel comfortable unless there's somebody on base.
Only one. Here's Mercedes. And 6 home runs on the year, 43 RBI coming in the week for Christian.
I've never seen an oven mitt that was red. Is that distracting?
You just feel for all the people who actually want to be culinary artists with the shortage of oven mitts apparently available. Must be baseball postseason. It's funny, we see some base runners use that mitt to slide back into the bag. The others use the offhand. They're just trying not to jam their fingers.
Why wouldn't you wear it on both hands then?
It's not a design pitch out, but accomplishes the same thing. Daniel Rivera on the base paths for a second time today, single and a walk. Mercedes grounded out back in the first. He'll get a base hit this time. That's just over the outstretched glove of Keith Flaherty into left field. So for a third straight inning, the Penmen have multiple base runners. A walk and a single with nobody out.
Well, that ball was hit really hard, and Flaherty, as you mentioned, he almost had a chance to catch that at third. I mean, that barely missed his glove.
This might have taken his glove into left field.
He had to get up quickly. He just couldn't snare it.
So Mercedes gets to run the bases for the first time. Daniel Rivera is there on second for a second time. Here's Sam Henry. He walked back in the first. That ball slips through. Both base runners are going to take 90 feet. Second straight inning. Penmen have a man 90 feet away.
Every half inning has featured at least 2 base runners. Now you got 2 in scoring position with nobody out after the pass ball.
This eliminates the traditional threat of a double play ball. Not sure if our pitchers have room for any more best friends.
Center fielder right's playing pretty deep.
You can say that for all the outfielders. Right side, plays at the plate, need a tag and a rundown. They'll concede that out. As taking second is going to be Henry, who reaches on the fielder's choice, now in scoring position. But Daniel Rivera is out. Mercedes replaces him at third. And just a nice job executing by Westchester there.
Yeah, Ferrara, I mean, he wasn't playing in at first base because he's got a left-handed batter up there. So he's playing back there, and he still had the wherewithal to fire it home quickly to be able to get the runner Rivera in a rundown. And then pretty good base running by Henry because he sees right there that it's a rundown situation, so he takes off for second base to get into scoring position.
Nick Schwartz hit into a double play in the first inning that ended that threat. 0 for 1 today. 2 teammates in scoring position. A base hit likely gives the Penmen a 2-run lead.
Which pitcher is going to be better at getting out of jams? Sperone or McCloskey? I don't think you mind working around Schwartz right here a little bit. Guy's hitting 400, and if you happen to walk him, then you'd have a double play situation. But you got ahead in the count, so you're really trying to get him to chase here.
A walk, a single, a fielder's choice. 1 out here in the third.
Yeah, I just wouldn't. If I'm ahead in the count like he was, I think all these pitches have to be pitches that you want Schwartz to chase. Nothing over the middle.
Again, Schwartz caught Sunday's game. He's your DH today. Got him on strikes, 2 away. Third strikeout for Joe Sperone. It is another eventful inning that he's hoping leads to an uneventful 0 on the board for a third straight frame. Here's Dakota Mulcahy. I said 2 strikeouts, shortchanged him 1. Third for Sperone. First strikeout was this man.
Man, he had second and third, nobody out, and he could get out of it here.
Still wouldn't be one of the most impressive innings we've seen, probably.
Because of that bases loaded. Well, actually, 3 walks in a row, not bases loaded, but 3 walks in a row and a pickoff.
First of 2 games today. This is our only elimination game today. We are down to 7 teams still playing baseball. The Prairie Stars of Illinois Springfield eliminated yesterday. Point Loma became our first 2-0 team, winning last night. Either Angelo State or North Greenville will join them.
Is that why I didn't see Illinois Springfield's flag out there when I walked in?
I think you know the answer to that.
They pull the flag down when you're eliminated. A flag will go down after this game.
Runners on third and second with 2 outs. This is a foul ball.
Another defense where they're playing to pull so much that the shortstop, Sestawicki, is playing pretty much straight up the middle, standing on the outfield grass.
Penman stranded 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Have 2 in scoring position as we speak.
See, there's your shortstop in the screen there.
Mercedes on third, Henry on second. 2-2, not tempting. Michael LaRocca's on deck, hoping to have a chance to come up. Maybe with bases loaded, maybe with a lead already.
It's going to be the 50th pitch already for Sperone. We're only in the 3rd inning.
With 2 outs, only first base unoccupied in a scoreless ball game. The payoff pitch from Sperone. And he may have gotten out of another one. 4 infielders in the area, and Sestawicki catches it behind the back of a teammate. And Joe Sperone says, I don't need this kind of stress in my life.
You're right about that. Oh, my gosh.
Out number 3, status quo, 0s on the board as we move on to the bottom half of the 3rd here on NCAA.com. The flags of Southern New Hampshire University and Westchester University are still flying high in Cary. Each team a game under their belt have suffered 1 defeat. After this game, one of those flags will still be up there atop its pole. The other one will be promptly brought back down to earth.
How'd you like to be the person that pulls the flag down?
They seem to take great enjoyment out of it.
I would not want to be that person. I'd feel bad.
Bottom of the 3rd. No shortage of base runners for both teams. Westchester's had multiple base runners both innings so far. Here's Zach Miles, the only batter in the lineup that Angus McCloskey hasn't seen yet today. Mentioned the Penmen had to rebuild their starting rotation after they only returned 2 starts from last year's 37 games, losing their 4 primary starters. As Coach Luanzo able to rebuild his rotation with transfers, including McCloskey. As Rivera across the diamond, 1 away.
We've had 11 base runners in this game and no runs scored.
Top of the order, center fielder, Zach Wright.
That'll give way to Zach Wright. Zach was the first of 3 straight men to walk to lead off the bottom half of the 1st inning. He would be caught off the base at second, and then, of course, then a double play would follow. And it was the first Houdini reference of the day from Joe Castellano.
Wright's got that Ohio State accolades thing going.
Third base hit for Westchester. Second time Wright gets to run the bases.
We'll see if he can do a better job this time because he got picked off second in the 1st inning. This is a guy who steals bases. You wonder if he'll be a little shy about it after getting picked off.
I predict a short-term memory.
Yeah, I mean, he has a school record for steals with 39.
Gives way to the graduate student Justin Horn.
So when you get picked off, do they take a star off your helmet?
Yeah, you figure with all those stickers on that helmet of Zach Wright that there's at least 39 stickers on there.
But if he steals a base, you could put the sticker back on and put another one.
We speculated whether if you're an All-American, maybe you show up with 2 stickers on your helmet just to see if you can trick a pitcher from another region. That one foul.
Those are little golden rams on there, not stars or anything like that.
I'll give you one guess why.
For the golden rams.
Still room for a few more stickers.
You'd have to put them on top of his helmet, it looks like.
Looks like he has a method. So Wright the runner on first after his 1-out single. The DH Horn has walked once today. Faces McCloskey now for a second time. Again, McCloskey, the transfer from Pace University, the senior. Joshua Burge we saw on Sunday from Division III Wheaton College. Brandon White, an arm that the Penmen would like to feature this week later on if they can keep playing baseball, out of Southern Connecticut. Only guy that returned from last year really was Taylor Lepard out of the bullpen last year. Made some starts this season. Another look.
A little hesitation there before he dove back. Oh my gosh.
Might have got him that time. Unbelievable. Picked off for a second time today. As Wright will go back to the dugout.
Oh, that is an awful feeling. He just didn't dive back quick enough. It wasn't so much about having too big of a lead. It was just he didn't react quick enough. And that's an awful feeling to get picked off twice in the first 3 innings.
Angus McCloskey has a chance to face the minimum. It's a 1-2 pitch to Horn. Now 2-2 count.
How about McCloskey picking him off at second and then at first? Having a play at the plate, help him out, a double play. I mean, he's had so much going on.
That's going to stay a fair ball. And as I say that, this is the maybe 3rd straight day I think a catcher should just let that ball stay there.
Yeah, that one.
Look, at that point, there's no out to be made.
Yeah.
So just let that ball come to rest and prove that you were right that it was going to stay fair.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there was no question it was not going to go foul. So he thought maybe he had time. He doesn't know. I mean, I think for Mulcahy, he's looking at it like, I don't know how fast this guy is going down the line. He is a fast runner. But I might have a chance. I know it's not going foul. It just wasn't.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure that ball's not going foul, but I'm 100% sure you're not going to throw out the runner. Again, don't think it affected the outcome there. The infield single from Horn with 2 outs, bunting.
One thing you don't want to do is throw that ball away. That's the problem.
So 2 of the men who walked in the first inning have singled here in the 3rd, though we've had a little deja vu on the base paths. Here's Joe Kalick. He was the 3rd straight walk in that first inning. And a balk.
Huh.
Joe Horn goes down to second.
We're going to get an argument, I think, here, as Scott Loazzo wants an explanation. And that's an interesting situation. Coach Loazzo, that's a quick explanation from Trevor Hinson. Let's see. Oh, if he's off the rubber, he can throw over there without doing anything. I mean, it doesn't matter if he came set. But was he on the rubber? And Coach Loazzo is not happy. Coach Loazzo said that that's one area that he's tried to improve on, is not getting into it with the umpires. But sometimes you can't help it. told us that he learned that from former All-Star catcher Rich Gedman, who was his manager when Scott Loiseau was playing pro ball. We mentioned the Can-Am League, and Rich Gedman never let the umpires bother him, and that's what Coach Loiseau is trying to do. But again, in that situation, he's pretty fired up.
That went off the elbow, and Kalek has his second free pass of the day.
I don't think McCloskey is comfortable until he has a couple of runners on.
First baseman Mike Pereira.
And right off the tricep. So Justin Horn on the balk had already moved to second. Kalek joins him at first. Here's Mike Ferrara hit into that DP back in the first inning. There will be no double play here in the third. Will there be a run scored? Third straight inning, Golden Rams bring 4 to the plate and get multiple base runners on.
Ferrara is a guy who hits over 400 with runners in scoring position. Can he come through here?
By the way, today's his birthday.
Happy birthday, 22nd birthday for Ferrara. Well, that'd be a good time to come up with a big hit.
He and his teammate, a pitcher, Joe Messina, both with birthdays today. Joe turning 21. The 0-2. Launched out towards left, carrying back towards the warning track. Kennedy looking for the wall. Able to make the catch. The Golden Rams, after stranding 1 in the first, 1 in the second, strand 2 in the third. As a result, still no hazard pay for our scoreboard operator. Another 0 on the board. Any little touch to make Cary, North Carolina feel like home for Westchester. That would be a little taste of Westchester, PA. I assume Mike LaRosa drew those. So 3 innings. No runs on 3 hits for Southern New Hampshire. No runs on 4 hits for Westchester. We've seen no shortage of free passes sprinkled in along the way, but we've seen double plays. We've seen runners caught off the base paths.
Well, Southern New Hampshire, they're 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position.
One offering a charge in this one. Back towards the scoreboard from LaRocca. Goodbye. Scoreless in Cary no longer. Michael LaRocca. He was stranded on third in the second. He'll bring himself home here in the fourth with a huge blast over the scoreboard.
For a guy who has only hit 2 home runs now in the season, he has perfected his bat flip. Watch this. LaRocca crushes it, and then watch this bat. Nice bat flip. That was gone the minute it left his bat. Third home run of this tournament for the Penmen.
Hope that ball looked both ways before crossing that tollway. Alex Kennedy into shallow left. Says Tawicki under it, gives way to the left fielder Kalick, 1-0 out.
That ball might have had to pay a toll to get on that tollway.
Michael LaRocca, second home run of the year. We did mention he missed most of the season with multiple injuries before returning for the Super Regionals last weekend. Here's Ricky Jimenez. And he blasted one over the left field wall back on Sunday. So Alex Kennedy there had a chance to do what he did on Sunday, and that was the first pitch he sees after a home run. Just crank it out for back-to-back. That was with Jimenez last time. Instead, the fly out to left.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, hitting it out on the first pitch.
This one driven foul. Jimenez in the 8th spot in the order today for Southern New Hampshire. Penmen looking for their 47th win on the year. Picked up their 11th loss back on Sunday after going 21-3 in the Northeast 10. Lost the first game of that Super Regional to Malloy, but battled back for 7-5 and 7-3 wins on Saturday. Joe Sperone, the 2-2. The count goes full. Both starting pitchers still in this ball game. Both have had some ups and downs that they've experienced alongside their teammates out there defensively.
Well, it could have been a lot worse for Sperone in particular. He gives up that home run. It's only a solo shot, so he can't feel too bad.
And it's a one-out walk of the 8-hitter Jimenez, who's now reached twice.
Each pitcher has 3 walks and a hit batsman.
Recipe for success.
Recipe for disaster.
Here's Idelson Tavares. Flied out to center back in the second to end that inning. They would love a double play ball from him right up the middle of the infield. Again, Tavares, a co-captain of this year's squad, is a grad student, the Massachusetts native.
Tavares is a speedy runner, yet he's grounded into a team-high 7 double plays this year.
The 2-0. They'll throw behind the runner. Jimenez back in time.
Wow, Trevor Hinson has been busy over there as a first base umpire.
John
Said, pick off plays in that one.
John DiMucci with a nice throw, your catcher. Puts this one where it needs to be. You see how Jimenez had to work around that left foot of the first baseman Ferrara. Looking for one out. They'll get none.
Oh.
They say no interference on the base runner. Only play was to be had at first. As Jimenez moves to second. An infield single by Idelson Tavares.
It's a tough play. The ball was not hit very hard. And you do have it in your head that, hey, maybe I can get the force play at second, or maybe I can make a tag. You have all that on your mind, but then he's going, uh-oh, I don't have second, now I don't have first.
Well, Joe Sperone's going to get a visit from his assistant coach.
Yeah, that's John Fleming, the first-year pitching coach for the Golden Rams. Former high school coach.
First batter this inning, Michael LaRocca hit his second home run of the entire season. A blast over the scoreboard and right. In case you don't believe me. That ball was destroyed.
That is an all-star bat flip right there.
It'd be followed by a flyout from Alex Kennedy, the walk from Jimenez, the single that never leaves the infield from Taveras. As the drought is over for the Penmen, they have the first run. It comes here in the top of the fourth. Here is the top of the order, Daniel Rivera. Singled, was stranded on second in the first, walked, and was out while trying to come home in the third. First time Rivera is not leading off an inning here today. Fifth batter to come up. Jimenez on second, Taveras on first. The 0-1. Left side snagged, fair ball. Throw across the diamond, it's a double play.
Wow, that was nice.
In case you blinked, Keith Flaherty snags the ball, foot down on the bag, throw across the diamond, inning over. Another look.
All in one motion. Tags the bag while he's catching the ball. He was making sure his foot was on the bag. That's multitasking at its best.
But Southern New Hampshire strikes. The home run from LaRocca, up by 1. Not a bad seat in the house here at Cary, North Carolina at Coleman Field, home of the National Training Complex of USA Baseball. It's just whether you want a shaded option or one out in the sun. As Luke Cantwell comes to the plate representing the tying run after Southern New Hampshire finally captured a lead. Now, for the first few days, any umbrellas you've seen have been solely for personal shade, personal sun protection. Starting tomorrow, it might have to do with some precipitation. Our guy Mitchell out there in center field, Tut 2.0. There he is. Don't worry, Mom. He's healthy and well fed.
He's not bothered by the construction out there beyond the left field wall.
He's made friends. They eat lunch together. The 2-1. And both starting pitchers still in this one. Angus McCloskey, his fourth inning of work. He has seen multiple men reach base every inning under his watch. And he has ultimately seen the third out recorded before anybody can score each time. That one punched foul from Luke Cantwell. Angus, for the first time today, working with a lead. Thanks to the solo shot from Michael LaRocca. Payoff pitch. Mercedes over to LaRocca.
Third baseman Keith Flaherty.
It's a routine play right at third baseman. Stayed down for him.
First pitch to Keith Flaherty, fought foul. Keith had the double play to get out of that last inning. A remarkable snag, touch of the bag, plant and fire across the diamond. And you would understand if the casual onlooker didn't notice the first out he recorded.
I just thought it was great that he could keep his composure to catch the ball while making sure he had got his foot on the bag.
Down on 3 pitches. Angus McCloskey, for the first time today, pitching with a lead, and for the first time today has retired the first 2 batters of an inning. His second strikeout.
Went after him with a breaking ball there. 3-pitch strikeout.
Here's Sean Sestawicki, who's singled back in the second. Big cut, 0-2. A chance for a 3-up, 3-down inning. And that's the response they get from Angus McCloskey and this defense after they claim their first lead. The Penmen now headed back to the plate looking for insurance in the top of the 5th. After the bats of the Golden Rams go in order.
Angus.
What'd you do this summer? Oh, just went out to a baseball field, hung out with some big kids, playing for a trophy. It's a Tuesday, school is out. Where else would you rather be? Christian Mercedes leading things off here in the 5th inning. A ground out and a single so far today. He's among the handful of runners left in scoring position, though. Even though Southern New Hampshire did strand another last inning, they did plate a run on the home run from LaRocca. Count 1-1. Penmen have stranded 6, at least 1 each inning through the first 4 against Joe Sperone. Sperone has benefited from 2 double plays through the first 4 innings from his defense. All 4 infielders have been involved. Coming in center, Zach Wright. Underneath it. 1 away. That's just the second time today the leadoff man has not reached for the Penmen.
Maybe these pitchers are going to settle down a little bit.
Right fielder, Sam Henry.
All right, here's Sam Henry, the walk in the first inning. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third, 0 for 1 today. 14 home runs this year, 5 this postseason. Can't lay off that one. 0-1.
Who's got the better beard? Henry at the plate here, or Brian Lindros, the assistant coach with the Golden Rams? It's a good question, right?
Best of the day.
Well, the assistant coach for the Golden Rams, he's in the dugout right now. We'll have to check out his beard and compare it to Henry's beard, because they've both cultivated really good beards. No, not him.
He's working on one. 1 out. The 0-2 to Henry. Winds up with that right foot of the kick out towards the wall, and that one's off the top of the wall. Will he look for a triple? Sam Henry off to the races. After a home run last inning from LaRocca, Henry trying to spark things here in the 5th. Look at that grin.
Oh, Henry, his second triple of the year.
You think this is a gift from the Magi?
Went down and got a pitch that was down low. And by the time the carom went past the center fielder right, it took a long time for Cantwell, the right fielder, to come up with it, and he couldn't even pick the ball up. So that enabled Henry to get to third easily.
Sam was feeling it on that swing, had that little kick of the right foot in the air. See those skull and crossbones stickers
The beard
for the pin man.
The beard gives him more speed.
Yeah, that'd be an inside the park home run, perhaps, if he's clean shaven. less wind resistance. All right, so a triple from Henry. The entire infield is now with their toes on the infield grass. Priority is to come home. See if Nick Schwartz can play this ball over their heads, create some chaos, get a chance to run the bases as well. There's a big gap between the infielders and the outfielders.
Well, you don't want to give up another run, but at the same time, you got the cleanup hitter up there.
This will score Henry. Back-to-back hits with one out. The triple from Sam Henry, followed by the RBI base hit from Nick Schwartz. And it's 2-0 Penman.
Well, I mentioned earlier they could not buy a hit earlier in this game with a man in scoring position, but that time they do, as Schwartz comes through. You can see why he's a 400 hitter, just drills it into left.
And it's not going to get any easier. Dakota Mulcahy comes to the plate. Your career home run leader for this program, playing in his 199th game as a Penman. He would love to keep them playing baseball, suit up for number 200 later this week.
He is the career leader in both home runs and RBIs.
Yeah, 176 runs batted in coming in this week, 37 home runs. Sam Henry tied his single-season mark of 14 home runs that he set last year. Still looking for his 10th home run this year.
School career leader, by the way.
His school leader.
Right.
So Schwartz on first after the RBI, doubling the lead. The 2-0. Left side gets through. 3 straight hits for the Penmen. Back-to-back singles now with one out. And the only adjustment from the Westchester coaching staff is just to communicate things out to the outfield on a shift. Or a guy named Michael LaRocca, who we saw come to the plate last inning. This was Mulcahy. 3rd straight hit this inning.
I'd like to see that from a guy who has power and hits home runs and everything, but still has the ability to just go with a pitch and hit it the other way.
So the man with the golden shoes, Michael LaRocca, who hit his 2nd home run of the season last inning. An absolute blast over the scoreboard. Still just one out. The first batter was retired this inning. Next 3 men have all reached. 1 has scored. I mean, think about the batters who have come up this inning. Henry, with his pop this year, settled for that triple. Dakota Mulcahy, your all-time home run leader. It's not getting any easier. LaRocca has shown his pop. Only 3rd base unoccupied. 2-0.
It's only the 3rd home run allowed all year by Sperone.
Just now getting a little action in that bullpen for Westchester. 2 runs on 8 hits so far for Southern New Hampshire. Two and 1. LaRocca out of Vero Beach, Florida. 3rd-year sophomore. Headed north to play college ball at Southern New Hampshire in Manchester, New Hampshire. Nick Schwartz, the runner on 2nd. Dakota Mulcahy, the runner on 1st. Penman back in Cary for a 2nd straight year. Westchester back for the first time in this championship week since they won it all in 2017. That 2017 trip, though, was to Grand Prairie, Texas. Westchester had won 8 straight games at this level. They swept 4-0 in 2012 to a title. Their next year back was 2017 with a 4-0 sweep through the week. Finally suffered a loss this year, back on Sunday. Bases loaded, and Sperone never really appeared interested in giving Michael LaRocca a chance to conquer that outfield wall for a second time.
It's 4 walks in the game for Sperone. See the right-hander there, Dylan Howenitz, who we've already seen in this tournament a couple days ago. And then you got a left-hander throwing, Gabe Rappa, who we have not seen.
Believe it or not, we have not seen the Penmen bring a 6th bat to a plate so far in this ball game in an inning, but we're seeing it here.
Here comes John Fleming.
Again, pitching coach.
That's a stroll right there.
Yeah, that is a perfected pace.
Remember, tonight, our second game, that'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Angelo State and North Greenville, 2 teams that had wins against these 2 teams playing right now. And if you win that game, then you get to wait a little bit before you play again. If you lose that game, then you have to play in a game on Wednesday, tomorrow, elimination game, which will be about 2 o'clock in the afternoon against the winner of this game.
Alex Kennedy waiting for his chance to come up to the plate here. As your 6th batter in the 5th inning, we've had a flyout, a triple, 2 singles, and a walk. And for now, Joe Sperone still your guy for Westchester. As a couple of arms get loose in the bullpen. Kennedy 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a flyout. Southern New Hampshire 2 double plays today that they have hit into. Would like to avoid a 3rd here. Chance for Kennedy. Next up, a moon landing. Nick Swartz on 3rd, Mulcahy on 2nd, LaRocca on 1st. Bases loaded for the first time today for the Penmen. They've already scored 1 more this inning after the home run in the 4th. With 1 out, a 1-1 count. Alex Kennedy out of Braintree, Massachusetts. 4th-year junior. Got a lot of depth in left field, but he gets the nod.
He had a great throw to the plate earlier.
Corner infielders are playing up. That's a foul tip. Again, you see the action in the bullpen.
If he does nothing with a bat today, he already made his contribution when he threw out the runner at the plate in the 2nd inning.
It was a phenomenal throw. And you know your catcher appreciates that. Able to avoid a collision. 1 out, bases loaded. Up by 2. This one shot to right. It'll be caught. Sacrifice fly will be the result as Nick Schwartz comes home, and advancing from 2nd to 3rd, Dakota Mulcahy. So 3-0 ball game in this elimination contest. Southern New Hampshire increases its lead again with its 2nd run this inning. 2nd out recorded on the sac fly from Alex Kennedy.
Good situational hitting right there by Kennedy. You just want to get the ball to the outfield if you can, and he hit that deep enough that would score the run easily and then move another runner up 90 feet. So a bonus.
Again, doesn't get any easier. The 8-hitter Jimenez A single and walk today, already a home run this week. Mike Ferrara holding on. LaRocca, who was not able to advance with that ball hit out to right field. Three runs over the past 2 innings for Southern New Hampshire.
Might be the last inning for Sperone no matter what. He's already thrown 90 pitches on a warm afternoon.
Sam Henry sparked things this inning after the flyout from Mercedes. A triple for the big guy. Off the wall. Got to carry him to his favor. Came home on the next batter, Nick Schwartz's single. We've seen Mulcahy and LaRocca join the fray on the base paths. They're on the corners right now. And Schwartz came home on Kennedy's sacrifice fly. Sperone with the 1-1 to Jimenez. 2-1. And Ricky Jimenez out of Miami, started his career at Longwood University. Senior wrapping things up with Southern New Hampshire. Out to center, should do it. Zach Wright underneath it. Penman will strand 2, but this time score 2. They have grown the lead to 3 over the past 2 innings. So that's insurance on the board for Angus McCloskey to work with when you rejoin us in the home half of the 5th inning. Back for the bottom of the 5th, Lincoln Rose, Joe Castellano with you with our live coverage here on NCAA.com. Again, back at the familiar confines here in the town of Cary, North Carolina. What a fantastic job all these volunteers do to create this championship environment. One of these 2 teams came into today ultimately with a chance to extend their season, while the other one, we'll see the punctuation put on it. John DiMucci struck out back in the 2nd for the 3rd out, 0 for 1 today. Angus McCloskey. So I'm guessing Angus is probably the first guy we've ever seen in an elimination game walk the first 3 batters he's faced. And he has now been rewarded with a 3-0 lead. Mind you, he just got done pitching his first perfect inning back in the 4th. So all of these things going as planned now for the Penman.
Yeah, it wasn't in the plans to walk the first 3 batters, but, I mean, to get a pickoff there and a double play, that was huge for his confidence to know that he had a bad inning, but he still got out of it with nothing happening on the scoreboard.
DiMucci, the catcher for Westchester. Right now a 3-1 count. Blue skies above, a little bit of sun to contend with. We even saw one guy in the Westchester bullpen not wearing just 1 set of sunglasses, but 2. And some of the other student athletes from Southern New Hampshire and families and friends coming out to Cary for a 2nd straight year. 3-1 for McCloskey. Right side, snagged by LaRocca. And we'll be able to underhand it to his pitcher, 1 away. That's 5 straight. Golden Rams retired. Currently trailing by 3.
And they are really trying to get their bats going. They only had 5 hits in their first game and 4 today. Only 1 run scored so far. Nice play there going to his right for LaRocca, who has had his fingerprints on this game.
Zach Miles, your 9-hitter, 0 for 1 today with a ground out to the left side. That was to start the 3rd inning. Faces McCloskey for a 2nd time. A big cut.
Southern New Hampshire, they've been getting excellent pitching all year. Their ERA as a team is at 3.32. They came into this tournament 5th in the nation in pitching in ERA.
This will have a chance to get down. It's a one-out single for Zach Miles. Alex Kennedy just minimizes the damage, gets it back into the infield.
And you talk about a guy who's looking for redemption right here, Zach Wright. He's been picked off the bases twice.
I thought you were going to talk about Brian Lindros's grooming.
First base coach, we haven't had a look at him, but he does have a great beard.
You wanted that side-by-side with Sam Henry, who came through last inning with the triple. Top of the order, Zach Wright. He has walked, he has singled, and he has not lasted long on the base paths. Inexplicably, twice has been caught off the base. Picked off at second in the first, and then back in the third right there. Oof, we're going to make him relive it.
It's the worst feeling in the world. I mean, there's just feelings in a baseball game that are embarrassing. That's one of them. I mean, you drop a fly ball, that's one thing. Getting picked off, it's right up there among the top issues that you might have as far as embarrassing moments.
Well, and again, most of these innings have been promising innings, and little things like that help get a pitcher back on track. Wind up getting a double play, and all of a sudden the inning over. All right, this time will not have a chance to run the bases. A strikeout from McCloskey.
The designated hitter, Justin Horn.
2 away. Justin Horn has yet to be retired. A walk in the first, a single in the third. Comes up here with 2 outs and 1 on.
Yeah, this is the team, Westchester, that wreaks havoc on the bases normally. But today they have just the 1 stolen bases and the 2 pickoffs. They only have 1 steal in the tournament. That's for a team that is 3rd in the country in stolen bases.
Out towards center. Tavares has it. So the Golden Rams, again, have found base runners, but they have stranded 5, scored none. As through 5 innings in Cary on this Elimination Tuesday, it's the Penmen looking to build on a 3-0 lead. It's the little touches, the little considerations that add up to make this such a championship experience. A great job by not just the NCAA, but there's a reason why they keep coming back to Cary, North Carolina. Most recent contract is through 2026. I suspect Cary, North Carolina will submit another bid to extend that. One of the great sights we've seen over the years for crowning champions here in D2. Joe Sperone. Both of our starting pitchers still in this one. Tavares over to Miles. 1 away. Tavares now 1 for 3 today. That'll bring you to the top of the order. Daniel Rivera. See if Sperone can get his first quick inning. He faced 4 in the first, 5 in the second, 5 in the third, and 5 more in the fourth, 7 in the fifth. Here we are in the 6th. Rivera, 3rd team All Northeast 10 Conference. And just under a 300 clip this year. Both teams have stranded base runners, but Southern New Hampshire these past 2 innings have finally put some runs on the board. Inside out over to right. Cantwell 2 away.
He went a long way for that. Cantwell made a nice diving catch earlier in this tournament a couple days ago.
Having those flowing locks always make it look that much more impressive.
Caveman look.
Here's Christian Mercedes, 1 for 3. Singled in the third, would be stranded on third. Also has a ground out and a fly out. All against Joe Sperone, 4th time through the lineup. Count 1-1.
It's going to be the 100th pitch of the game for Sperone coming up right here.
One of these two teams guaranteed to pick up its first win of the week. Other team will be reflecting on a memorable 2022 campaign. Sperone looking for his first perfect inning. Unable to get Mercedes to bite on that last one. Count goes full. Right side, just past the diving glove of Miles. And Southern New Hampshire, another inning with a base runner. The single from Mercedes with 2 outs.
2 for 4 today. That's 9 hits now for the Penmen. Only one batter in the lineup does not own a hit. That's Kennedy. Nice shot to the right side. Good effort at second by Miles.
And before Sam Henry, the man who stole the show last inning with a triple, comes to the plate here in the 6th. There's going to be the first dip into the bullpen for the Golden Rams of Westchester. When you rejoin us here on NCAA.com, Gabe Rappa, the sophomore, will relieve Sperone. Season on the line, down by 3. Just last inning, Sam Henry helping add to the lead. This was a triple off the wall. The big guy going into third, and one batter later would have a chance to come home. It was a fun one to watch. Mentioned the year he's had with all the home runs this year. Almost a little disappointed he didn't try to find his first inside the Parker.
And now he's going to get to face a left-handed pitcher out of the bullpen in Gabe Rappa, who is 6-2 with a 5.33 ERA, giving up 32 earned runs in 54 innings this year, 21 walks, 43 strikeouts.
I want to point out, even with the single season mark, 14 home runs for the Penmen this year, Henry was just 3rd team all-conference. But unlike the guys who are ahead of him, he's still playing baseball. Christian Mercedes on first, being held on after his 2-out single, denied Sperone a perfect 6th inning, and ultimately would be the last batter Sperone would face.
Henry has come up big in the clutch in these big games. He had a good game in the Super Regional clincher against Malloy.
Should do it. Miles had that Mercedes ball shot past him this time. Has a chance to get underneath this one from Henry. And there's your 3rd out. So Gabe Rappa comes in relief, faces one, finds that 3rd and final out. And that allows Westchester to shift its sights back on offense, where it trails by 3, heading into the home half of the 6th inning. Bottom half of the 6th inning. As first pitch into Joe Kalick from Angus McCloskey, your starter still going strong for Southern New Hampshire, off the mark for ball 1. Now a 2-0 count. Kalick today, a walk in the first when he was the 3rd straight walk that inning. And for a little change of pace, was hit by pitch in the 3rd. See if he puts a ball in play this time around. As that'll have to be tracked down. Angus McCloskey, a couple of innings there. A run in the fourth and then 2 more in the fifth. And that all coincided with him finding his stride on the mound. Worked a perfect fourth. Faced 1 more than the minimum last inning.
I mentioned earlier that he has been going deep into games his last 6 starts or so. And here he is again, as he's up to 89 pitches in a warm day, but has good endurance.
Well, if the Penmen do in fact win today, they will appreciate that effort from McCloskey. If he can save their bullpen.
Well, you're right, because it gets difficult, because if you survive today, then you play tomorrow afternoon. You survive that, then you play the next day. I mean, you just keep playing every day. Your pitching has to withstand that.
Payoff pitch coming up to Joe Kalick leading off here in the 6th inning. Got him. 4th strikeout for Angus McCloskey in his start today, still working a shutout.
Meanwhile, Point Loma, they don't have to worry about pitching very much, right? They get 2 days off. They get today off and tomorrow off before they play again after they won last night. Huge advantage.
Mike Ferrara charged into this one. Back towards center. Goodbye. A solo stroke from Mike Ferrara puts Westchester on the board facing elimination. A 10th home run trot and a birthday homer for the senior.
Happy birthday, Mike Ferrara. First home run for Westchester in this tournament, and it might give them some life.
One to grow on.
424 feet to center field.
Our guy Mitchell's fast enough, might get an ice cream sandwich out of that. Again, Mike Ferrara woke up this morning, 22 years old. Hopefully wakes up tomorrow with more baseball to be played. Luke Cantwell over to Rivera. Collects and fires 2 away. Did you ever hit a home run on your birthday?
I didn't hit many home runs. Unless it was an inside the park home run.
Third baseman Keith Flaherty.
Keith Flaherty 1 for 2 today. Singled in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. All right, Golden Rams have taken that 0 off the board. They'll have 10 outs to work with at least here in 2022. Flaherty out of Philly, PA. The grad student. Suiting up for a 49th time this year.
Well-worn uniform right there.
That right pocket has a good drainage system.
Well, if he can get on base, then the potential tying run would come to the plate.
McCloskey, 5 2/3 inning of work. Nobody on the bag. It's a foot race. And McCloskey gets there.
Wow.
6 complete. But Mike Ferrara comes up on his birthday. And with a stroke of the bat, conquers the center field wall and puts the Golden Rams on the board as they are back in the hunt for the first time since winning it all in 2017.
Southern New Hampshire up 3-1 as we go to the 7th inning. Alongside Lincoln Rose, I'm Joe Castellano. An elimination game here as Nick Schwartz leads it off and fouls it back. 0-1. He drove in a run his last time up with a single. 1 for 3 today and facing Gabe Rappa for the first time. Joe Sperone went the first 5 2/3 innings. There is pitch in there for a called strike, 0-2.
But just putting that run on the board finally for Westchester puts Southern New Hampshire on a little bit of notice. Those bats might be waking up for the Golden Rams.
You wonder how much longer can McCloskey go. He's close to 100 pitches. So a lot of times it comes down to the bullpens. This probably will be no exception. Schwartz, Mulcahy, and LaRocca to try to add to the lead for the Penmen. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him to chase a pitch away there. And that is out number 1, first strikeout for Rappa.
Rappa, who came in with 2 outs last inning, able to retire the lone batter he faced. Off to a nice start here.
Dakota Mulcahy will step in. Mulcahy is 1 for 3, a single his last time up. He's the catcher today after being the DH in the first game. Takes inside corner, called strike. They play him to pull again. Shortstop Sestawicki, I should say. Sestawicki, almost straight up the middle. Second baseman Miles is on the outfield grass a little bit, just like Sestawicki. Outfield straight away. Mulcahy with a count of 1-1. Rappa deals. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. 1-2.
And one mistake pitch, and Dakota could get that run back pretty easily for Southern New Hampshire.
1-2 to Mulcahy. Fouled back to the screen. Michael LaRocca on deck. He homered back in the 4th inning. Got the scoring started in this game, even though both teams had a lot of chances to score before that. That home run was over the scoreboard in right field. Then the 2 runs in the 5th made it 3-0, and then the home run that we saw from Ferrara in the 6th for the Golden Rams. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Mulcahy goes down on strike, second consecutive strikeout for Rappa.
Gabe Rappa trying to get those bats back in the hands of the Golden Rams. After fanning, Schwartz does the same with Mulcahy.
Here's LaRocca, the home run, hit by a pitch and a walk. So 1 for 1 today. His home run is 2nd of the year, but like we talked about, he'd been out with injuries most of the season, so that's why his numbers aren't big as far as power numbers. But this guy has power. Had to come back from a broken hand and a hamstring injury this year. 1-1 the count. LaRocca, the redshirt sophomore from Vero Beach, Florida. The 1-1, curveball inside, 2-1. Vero Beach, the longtime spring training home of the LA Dodgers. Eventually they moved to Arizona in more recent years. But so many great Dodgers had spring training there in Florida. 3-1 now to LaRocca.
With LaRocca back in the lineup, we're not seeing Anthony Poole, but what a job that freshman did stepping up in his absence this year. Went on to be the Northeast Division Rookie of the Year in the Northeast 10.
There's ball 4. So LaRocca has been on all 4 trips, a couple of walks now. And the first base runner against Rappa. That's 5 walks in the game for the Penmen hitters. And here's Alex Kennedy, who had a sac fly his last trip. He's 0 for 2 at the plate.
Yeah, none of the free passes have led to runs. A home run, a triple, and a single have all led to runs.
LaRocca being held at first. Breaking ball in there. No, it missed. Call the ball. 1-0. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Penmen. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Golden Rams. Curveball, that missed too. Maybe a little bit high when it's crossing the plate, 2-0. Rappa's thinking, man, I thought those were strikes. Rappa, the sophomore from Paulsboro, New Jersey. Big leg kick in the pitch, and now he's behind 3-0, and he's in danger of back-to-back walks.
Yeah, he's got Michael LaRocca also on the mind over there at first. With a modest lead with 2 outs, but should be able to dial in on the hitter here.
The 3-0. Ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk, and once again, the Penmen with a chance to score runs. I mean, they have 3 on the board. They feel probably like they could have a lot more. They've left 9 men on base. Now let's see what they do with 2 down and Jimenez coming up. You can see some of those pitches were close. It's a little low, a little high. The last one wasn't that close.
Gabe Rappa's probably thinking, look, I struck out the first 2 batters, but you're going to show the sequence where I walk the next 2? Again, he struck out Schwartz and Mulcahy, but LaRocca, all but an intentional walk. Kennedy walked as well. Here's Ricky Jimenez.
So Jimenez 1 for 2 with a walk. He is 3 for 6 in the tournament, had the 3-run homer on Sunday in the Southern New Hampshire loss to Angelo State.
Dylan Hoanitz still warming up over there in the bullpen for Westchester.
Jimenez swings, and it's a high fly ball to left field, but settling under it is Kalick. That does it for the Penmen in the 7th. They leave 2 more on base. They've left 11 on base, but as we reach the 7th inning stretch, Southern New Hampshire does have the lead 3-1 over Westchester. Who will be the champion this year? Well, one of these 2 teams wants to stay alive by winning an elimination game and have the chance to go at it again tomorrow against the loser of our nightcap, Angelo State and North Greenville, playing at 6 o'clock, and there are the Crusaders coming into the ballpark.
Out of North Greenville, South Carolina, playing Angelo State out of Texas.
Sean Sestowicki at the plate takes a strike, 0-1 to Zesto, as they call him. 1 for 2, a single today, and he lines one into center field. That's a base hit again for Zestowicki. The number 7 hitter gets on, and just like that, the Golden Rams have the potential tying run coming to the plate in John DiMucci.
First time since the first inning that Westchester has been able to get its leadoff batter on. Of course, that's when they walked 3 in a row.
The catcher, John DiMucci.
DiMucci has struck out and grounded to first. Golden Rams down by 2 runs here in the 7th. Kloski, the starter, deals bunt attempt, and he went after it and missed, 0-1. McCloskey is over 100 pitches now. Remember, again, he started the game by walking 3 in the first inning. He picked one of the runners off. When he had first and second, he picked off a runner. Ground ball, base hit down the left field line. Sestowicki around second, racing for third. Kennedy throws it in. Pulling in at second base with a double is DiMucci.
Well, this is either going to be a double play ball, perhaps, or what it turns out to be. 2 men in scoring position. It is a rocket down that third base line. Not an easy task for Mercedes to snag. Once it gets past the third baseman, you've got the tying run in scoring position now. Another look. Well positioned, but that ball's still too hot to handle.
And here comes Scott Loasso. He does have a right-hander in the bullpen in Griffin Gilbert. His starter, McCloskey, might be tiring here in the 7th. Remember, he was great at getting out of jams. I mentioned the pickoff after he walked the first 2 batters he faced. He proceeded to walk the next batter, but get a double play ball to get out of that inning. Almost gave up a run in the 2nd, but his left fielder Kennedy made a great throw to get Flaherty at the plate after a single by Sestowicki. Then he got out of more jams, left a couple of men on base, in the 3rd inning, left another man on in the 5th inning, gave up that home run in the 6th inning, but now here he is again, kind of like earlier in the game where he's got 2 on and nobody out, the potential tying runs in scoring position.
Saw Gilbert for the final inning of work for the Penmen in that loss on Sunday. Whoever would come in at the moment would come in with a lead, but that may not be the case much longer with Westchester threatening.
So Coach Loazzo with a lot of confidence in his starter here, McCloskey, who came in with a 2.52 ERA and has been even better the last 6 starts, 1.22 ERA. The infield will play back, not all the way back up the middle, but pretty far back. Squeeze. The pitcher, McCloskey, looks at third, hesitates, throws to first. One bouncer, got him.
Wow.
What a stop over there at first by Jimenez, the second baseman, covering to dig it out and get the out. And the other runner staying at second and third.
And I believe they're going to ask for a review there at the out on first, as Mike LaRosa is going to ask the umpires to ultimately go to the headset. And this is a good old-fashioned bang-bang play. Joe, that last play will make your heart skip for a moment. That's the kind of throw that often gets past the man covering the bag, and all of a sudden you've created a mess with a tying run coming home.
That might have been the play of the game by Jimenez covering over there. I mean, McCloskey hesitated, and anytime you see a pitcher hesitate like that, you wonder if he's going to throw it away, because he looked over at third base and he realized, okay, I don't have a play there because the runner, Sestawicki, he wisely got back to third base when he saw the bunt was going right back towards the mound. So Sestawicki was okay in his base running, and McCloskey just hesitated and then made this throw.
Oh, and look,
I think he's out.
Should have been safe, but watch the stutter step. He's just not in stride to touch first base.
Yeah, he's out.
And it does appear, yeah, absolutely.
Kind of in between steps right there, you think?
Right.
Yeah.
He mismeasured his stride down the back or down the line.
And that was a close call. Trevor Hinson, the first base umpire, has had a lot of close calls, and I think he's gotten every one of them right.
Again, right now they are not consulting the monitors. They have a officiating chief who's doing that for them, who will relay then the decision, which we anticipate will be a confirmation of the correct call of out at first.
Here we go.
Should be a point and a signal. And as expected, the call of out confirmed.
And when the first baseman, LaRocca, coming in, charging in with the bunt, it was up to the second baseman, Jimenez, to get over there. And, I mean, a lot of second basemen, I think, would have panicked on that throw, but he just handled it so calm and cool.
We'll see if we get another chance just to look at the entirety of the play in a moment here, in a pause perhaps. But
well, now with one out, again, the middle infielders are back, but not all the way back. The corner infielders playing even with the bags. Top of the order, Zach Wright, who has plenty to redeem himself for because he has been picked off second base and first base, and he has struck out. 1 for 2 at the plate. Tying runs in scoring position. Swing and a miss. Big cut there, 0-1.
Again, the reason for the hesitation doesn't have a target initially to throw to over there at first. So you'll see the double clutch after he looks. Now he's got a teammate on the bag to throw to. And it's just a fantastic scoop by Ricky Jimenez, both to get the out and to avoid letting that ball drift into foul territory and allow the runners all to take additional bases.
You know, there was another part of that play I didn't see the first time around. When Jimenez backhanded it, it looked like he kind of juggled it a little bit at the end of the play to where you wondered if he hung on to it, but he did. 1-1 the count.
I thought you were going to compliment Michael LaRocca getting down. He just went flat to his belly to allow his pitcher to have his clear sight line over the first.
That's another part of it. 1 ball, 1 strike to right. Sestawicki at third. DiMucci at second. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. DiMucci's double setting up the Golden Rams here. There it is.
LaRocca going to hit the deck. You'd understand if he thought the pitcher had thrown, stands up, and just takes one right in the numbers.
Jimenez wanted to make sure he had that ball in his glove. He almost couldn't believe it. The 1-2. Breaking ball low. 2-2 now to Zach Wright, the leadoff hitter. Justin Horn on deck. A base hit could tie the game.
It's just a ho-hum ball game.
A ground ball to a middle infielder could score a run and make it a one-run game. Now we're ready, the 2-2. In the dirt, 3-2. So McCloskey trying to get out of this here now with a full count. 109 pitches now for McCloskey. They've had action in the bullpen. How much longer can he go? Full count to right with first base open. McCloskey ready. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. Good eye up there by Wright. Draws his second walk of the game, 39th of the year. That's most on the club. And now the base is loaded with one out for Justin Horn.
Does Angus McCloskey try to pick off Zach Wright?
Here comes Coach Loazzo.
May not have a chance.
Well, after the 3 walks in the first inning, McCloskey had not walked a batter since then, but now he's going to leave, and his last batter will be a walk. And it's going to be an interesting situation for the relief pitcher coming out of the bullpen, Griffin Gilbert. We'll tell you about him when we come back. We're in the 7th, 3-1. Southern New Hampshire trying to hang on to the lead at the D. Griffin Gilbert comes out of the bullpen for the Penmen. 3-1, 2.52 ERA. This will be his 16th appearance all in relief. 39 Ks in 25 innings, only 4 walks. Opponents hitting just 179 against him. And he already worked an inning a couple of days ago.
Yeah, one of those 25 innings was back on Sunday. He was the final pitcher to take the mound in that loss for Southern New Hampshire. Inning of work. 1 earned run. Against 5 batters faced, struck out 1, allowed a couple of base hits. Entrusted with a 2-run lead with 1 out, bases loaded.
What a situation to come into.
Welcome back.
Yeah, for the redshirt sophomore from Concord, New Hampshire, Fairleigh Dickinson transfer, facing Justin Horn with runners leading all around, and now time called as he was in his delivery, and it was because music was playing.
Yep.
And the home plate umpire, Drew Eaton, said, no, I don't like that kind of music. He played some 80s. Maybe we could have continued on, but now we're ready to go. Sestowicki at third, DiMucci at second, Wright at first. The pitch, high for a ball, 1-0 to Horn, who's 1 for 2, a single, a walk. He is 2 for 6 in the tournament. The Penmen hoping to turn 2 to get out of this. They did turn a double play in the first inning. That ended the frame. Breaking ball in there, called strike. Gilbert at 6'4", 220, an imposing figure out there on the mound. Horn the DH, number 2 hitter. Doesn't have any home runs this year, but a .317 batting average coming in. Breaking ball in the dirt, 2-1. Just a little breeze blowing out towards left. The outfield playing straight away. Middle infielders cheating in a little bit, looking to turn 2. Runners take their leads all around. 2-1 to Horn. In the dirt, stopped nicely by Mulcahy. 3-1, there's nowhere to put him. He's got to come in here.
Sestowicki singled to lead off this inning. He's on third. The double from DiMucci still on second. The walk to Zach Wright with 1 out to load him.
The season on the line for these 2 teams in this elimination game. 3 balls, 1 strike to Horn. Here's the pitch. High ball 4, and a run comes home. A bases loaded walk for Horn, and now Westchester within a run. They were down 3-0 at one point. Now it's 3-2.
Everybody advances 90 feet, and it's the exact same scenario still. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Back-to-back walks by two different pitchers. 5 walks now for the Golden Rams in the game. Here's Joe Kalick, the number 3 hitter. 0 for 1, a strikeout, but he's walked and been hit by a pitch. And he takes a strike, 0-1. He has DiMucci at third, Wright at second, Horn at first. Tons of speed on the bases at first and second. Those guys can score on anything in the gap. Tying run is 90 feet away. Fouled back to the screen, 0-2, and Gilbert sure could use a strikeout right here.
Penman found their runs in the 4th and 5th innings. Now for a second straight inning, Westchester has plated a run and threatening to do more.
Time to tighten up those gloves, those batting gloves right there, and get ready for a tight situation for Joe Kalick, the sophomore from Southampton, Pennsylvania, waiting. The 0-2 pitch. Little check swing, bouncer over the bag, foul ball. And again, Trevor Hinson, the first base umpire, has to make a close call. That ball was getting close to being fair.
Game of inches. Just bends right in front of first base.
Yeah, I'm umpiring at first base today. Yeah, it should be pretty easy. There won't be any close calls. Whoo. Every one of them you've gotten right. Runners lead all around with 1 out. Kalick is behind 0-2. Gilbert deals. Down and away, 1-2. Single and a double to start out the inning, and then back-to-back walks, getting the Golden Rams going here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-2 pitch, high, 2-2. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at second. Gilbert likes the sign from Mulcahy. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, third base side. Fielded, tagging the bag is Mercedes for 1. Throws to first. In time on the stretch. Double play. The Penmen get out of it again. What a play by Mercedes and LaRocca. Unbelievable.
Well, we've seen some great play at the hot corner today. This time it's Christian Mercedes' turn. The snag, the touch of the bag, and the stretch from LaRocca at first to keep a 1-run lead.
Well, after the Penmen get out of that situation with a double play, leaving a couple men on base, Idelson Taveras will lead it off. Number 9 man for Southern New Hampshire takes a strike, 0-1, facing Rappa, who came on in the 6th inning, and he left a couple men on base in the 7th. Also left a runner on in the 6th. 11 left on for the Penmen, 7 left on for the Golden Rams in this game. 3-2 Southern New Hampshire.
Penmen have seen a 3-0 lead, now trimmed down to 1 run, but if you want a reason for optimism, you've had base runners every inning for Southern New Hampshire.
There's a shot into right field, base hit, and they will have another base runner as Taveras singles for the 2nd time. 2 for 4 today.
Problem is they have stranded 11.
I mean, most innings they've had more than 1 base runner.
Yep.
Now the top of the order.
Stranded 2 in the 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 7th.
Top of the order, shortstop, Daniel Rivera.
I mean, I think they'd be reluctant to bunt a runner over at this point because everybody's swinging the bat so well. Rivera 1 for 3, a single and a walk. Now time called. And here comes Coach LaRosa for Westchester. He's got a right-hander in the bullpen. He's got a couple of right-handed bats coming up here. His right-hander is freshman Dylan Howanitz, who we saw on Sunday with 2 shutout innings and no hits allowed in relief against North Greenville, and he is coming into the game. We'll tell you about him when we come back. 3-2 in favor of Southern New Hampshire, trying to add to their lead in the 8th inning. Freshman Dylan Howanitz out of the bullpen after he had 2 scoreless his first time on Sunday. And his first pitch is a called strike, 0-1 to Daniel Rivera with a runner at first and nobody out.
We saw Dylan work the final 2 innings in that game against North Greenville on Sunday. Walked 1 of the 7 batters he faced, struck out 3. Allowed no hits, no runs. Boy, that was a great start from Fosnot, holding North Greenville to just 3 runs. The problem is Westchester only got 1 run in that ball game.
The sidearm right-hander, submarine style, I guess you could say right there, and way outside. 20th appearance here for Howanitz, 4.00 ERA, 18 innings of work this year, and he has struck out 17. Tavares leading at first. Ground ball to shortstop, could be 2. Sestowicki to second, 1. Miles to first, in time, double play. Wow, that is the 4th double play of this game. 5th double play of this game, beg your pardon. 5th double play of this game, 2 down.
Yeah, 3rd one turned now by the Golden Rams defense. All starts with Sestowicki. Turned by Miles.
Ground ball right at the second baseman, hit hard, but Miles handles it. And just like that, Howanitz gets out of that unscathed, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Southern New Hampshire leading Westchester 3-2. Bottom of the 8th inning we go. Joe Castellano and Lincoln Rose with you. Our second elimination game. Westchester trying to come back from down a run now as Ferrara lines one down the left field line and foul. A bullet for Ferrara, who homered on his 22nd birthday, his last time up. That got Westchester on the board. They added another run in the 7th, and now they're within 1 as he faces reliever Griffin Gilbert, who came on in the 7th. Swing and a miss with a big rip. 0-2.
Mike started his career nearby at UNC Greensboro.
Trying to tie it here with 1 swing, it looked like right there. Gilbert deals, and it's fouled back. Ferrara will be followed by Cantwell and Flaherty, 4, 5, and 6 in the order for the Golden Rams. The home run he hit was his 10th of the year. Stands straight up at the plate, and he gets hit on an 0-2 pitch, hit by the pitch.
Yeah, that's the more acceptable form of what used to be the birthday spanking.
But Gilbert has to be frustrated with hitting a batter when he's ahead 0-2. So now that just like that, the tying run is on base. Hit him somewhere on the left leg, I think. Luke Cantwell, 0 for 3, popped to short, grounded to third, grounded to short, 0 for 7 so far at the D2 championship. Do they make him bunt? Although he does have 12 home runs to lead the team. You'd hate to take the bat out of his hands. He's swinging away, and it's inside 1-0.
Yeah, tops on the team with 12 home runs. Ferrara second on the team, finding that 10th home run of the year earlier this ball game.
None of these teams are really trying to sack bunt very often. A lot of confidence in the hitters to swing the bats, which you got to like.
Only bunt we've seen today was a single.
Yeah. Oh, we did see the squeeze attempt bunt, but that didn't work out. Cantwell. His runner at first base, Ferrara, with a very short lead. Ferrara does have stolen base ability, 14 steals and 16 attempts. But he does not have a base stealer's lead over there as of yet. LaRocca holding him on.
He's still 3 days away from his birthday.
Cantwell takes a strike.
Would love to have a chance to hit a home run on his birthday. That means they're still playing baseball.
So his birthday's the 10th.
Correct. He'll be 23.
He's got a younger brother, Andrew, who's on this team. And he's got 4 older sisters who went to Westchester. The runner goes, the pitch hits the batter again. Cantwell drilled. So back-to-back hit by pitches for Gilbert. puts the tying run in scoring position and the go-ahead run on at first base. Wow.
They're quickly getting Trevor Annaball warmed up in the bullpen.
Well, Gilbert had only hit one batter all season coming into this game, but he hits back-to-back hitters here, and Coach Loazzo is coming out. Does he have the hook? And if he does that and brings in another pitcher, it'd be the second time that he would bring a pitcher in a very tough spot. Remember, he brought Gilbert into a bases-loaded situation, and that was in the 7th, and he got out of it, eventually got that double play after he walked in a run. Now Gilbert leaves, and we will see Annaball out of the bullpen. 3-2 in favor of Southern New Hampshire, trying to hang on in the 8th. The man with the interesting colored glove, Trevor Annaball, out of the bullpen for Southern New Hampshire. What a season he's had. That glove, or any glove that he wears, 6-0, 1.46 ERA. His opponents are batting 148 against him. He has struck out 50 in 37 innings, and he was very good when he came out the first time and pitched for Southern New Hampshire, as he's already come out of the bullpen Sunday against Angelo State and went 2 scoreless innings with 1 hit allowed. Comes into a tough spot. 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. His team leading 3-2. The tying run in scoring position. Go-ahead run on at first, and Keith Flaherty at the plate. 1 for 3, a single.
Tailor-made triple play.
Bunts, and it's fouled on the first base side. So Coach LaRosa wanting to get 2 men into scoring position here.
Golden Rams have trailed by as many as 3, have slowly trimmed away at the deficit, but have yet to have a lead today. That could change here.
Flaherty has a couple of sack bunts this year. Does he square around again? He is showing bunt early. Annaball will bluff to second. I mentioned that most of the time we've seen the hitters just swing away, but not here. Flaherty, who made a nice play at third base earlier, is part of the 5 double plays we've seen. Bunts at third base side, foul. You do want to bunt it towards the third baseman, make him field it, so that way he can't make a play on the base runner coming that way. But he bunted that one foul. Now you have to figure he's swinging away behind the count 0-2. McCloskey started, went 6 1/3. Gilbert goes 2/3 of an inning, and now Annaball after the back-to-back hit batsman. Now Flaherty will swing away the 0-2. Inside 1-2. Annaball throws his fastball 86 to 90 miles an hour. Throws a curveball. Recently had an illness that he had to recover from, and now trying to help his team survive the D2 Baseball Championship. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He got him with a breaking ball. 1 away.
There's that elusive first out. Trevor Annaball comes in, fires strikes.
A loopy curve right there. Sean Sestowicki comes up. Zesto, as they call him, 2 for 3 in this game, 2 singles. A base hit could tie the game. And he gets drilled. That's 3 hitters hit by pitches to load the bases. What is going on?
Joe, 5 of the last 7 batters for Westchester have reached via free pass.
Man. Coach Loazzo has got to be beside himself right now with what's going on with the hit by pitches. 3rd hit by pitch this year for Annaball. So now bases loaded for John DiMucci. The Westchester catcher is 1 for 3, a double his last time up. Tying run 90 feet away, go ahead run in scoring position. The pitch, down and away, 1-0. Of course, the Penmen hoping for yet another double play to try to get out of this.
They haven't had one since last inning.
Well, they've had 2 inning-ending double plays. That's in there for a called strike, 1-1.
DiMucci doubled last inning. Since then, no more base hits for his teammates. I mentioned instead they've gone to the free passes. No need to put a batted ball into play. 2 walks and 3 hit batters.
DiMucci has not grounded into a double play this season. That's a 58-footer. Nice block by Mulcahy. That's not easy to do, but he was just able to get his chest on that, his chest protector. 2-1.
Ferrara hit by pitch to lead off this inning. Cantwell, due to lack of originality, the same.
That may have saved this game from being tied, because if that ball gets by Mulcahy, there's a lot of room behind home plate, and Ferrara runs well at third. The pitch in there for a called strike, 2-2.
Says Stawicki hit by pitch to load the bases with 1 out.
It's Ferrara at third, Cantwell at second, Sestawicki at first. They were all hit by pitches. 1 out. Run scored on a bases-loaded walk in the 7th for the Golden Rams. 2-2 to DiMucci. Fouled back, it remains 2-2. So the free passes, as you mentioned, I mean, they are painful right now for Penmen fans.
3 of the 4 infielders are positioned for a double play, whereas first baseman Michael LaRocca is the only guy cheating up on the grass for a throw home.
2-2 to DiMucci. Pop foul out of play. Count remains even to DiMucci, the number 8 hitter, who's only hitting .222 on the year coming in. But he hit a bullet down the left field line his last time up for the double. Middle infielders cheat in a little bit, looking at turn 2 to get out of this inning. 2-2 to DiMucci. It hit him. Unbelievable. 4 hit batsmen, and we are tied at 3. I don't think I've ever seen that. It's a hit by pitch fest. 2 for Gilbert and 2 for Onabal. And the bases remain loaded. And here comes Coach Loazo again.
Trevor Anibal came in with 2 men on, struck out the first batter he faced, and that'll be it.
Wow. We're going to see our 4th pitcher for Southern New Hampshire. The Penmen had a 3-0 lead, and they've given it all back. We're in the bottom of the 8th. We'll see what happens from here. We'll tell you about the new pitcher in just a moment. It's been a hit-by-pitch parade for Westchester here in the 8th inning. Hit-by-pitch after hit-by-pitch, 4 of them in the inning to tie this game. 2 by the pitcher out of the bullpen, Gilbert, and then Anibal came out of the pen. He hit 2, and now we're tied. And now Brandon White, a starter who has the most hit-by-pitches on the staff with 11, comes in here with the bases loaded, 1 out, facing Zach Miles, the number 9 hitter. Trying to keep this game tied. Line drive, right field, base hit in the corner. 1 run is in. Cantwell. Sestawicki coming around third. He scores as the throw comes in from Henry. Stopping at third is DiMucci. A 2-run single for Zach Miles. And Westchester has its first lead of the game here in the 8th inning, 5-3.
That was the first ball batted into play this inning. 4 hit batters and a strikeout, and the number 9 hitter Miles comes through to give the Golden Rams the lead.
Greeting Brandon White with this. The number 9 hitter delivering. What an inning. 3 runs are in. All of those runs were batters that got on via the hit by pitch. And now the top of the order, Zach Wright, the 7th man to hit in the inning.
Now, Zach has walked twice in this game, but he's yet to take a bump.
Well, now the Golden Rams looking for insurance on a 2-run lead. Brandon White, normally a starter. It's only the 2nd time he's come out of the pen this year in his 15 appearances. 7-2, 3.18 ERA. Facing Wright, 1 for 2, a single, 2 walks. Lots of free passes. I mean, 5 walks in the game for Southern New Hampshire pitchers, and the 4 hit batsmen this inning, 5 hit batsmen in the game. Way too many free passes.
Well, his top third of the orders received 5 free passes even before this inning.
1-1 the count.
Just none of it has led to scoring.
Well, that's 10. 10 batters of walks and hit batsmen that got on for the Golden Rams. Plus, they have 9 hits. Throw to first, diving back safe is Miles. And all of a sudden, the Penmen have to be thinking, okay, now we got to come back in the 9th inning. They do have Henry, Schwartz, and Mulcahy due up. But how many runs will they be behind? Runners at first and third, 1 out. It hit him. We might be headed towards a record. That's 5 hit batsmen in this inning and 6 in the game for the Penmen pitchers. Bases loaded again.
Only 3 Golden Rams have not been hit by pitch at least once today.
This is ridiculous. 12th hit batsman for White this year on the mound. And now the 8th man to hit in the inning is Justin Horn with the bases loaded. He could break this game wide open.
Without swinging a bat. Remember, he had an RBI walk last inning.
Horn takes strike 0-1. That was his first RBI of the tournament. He's 1 for 2 in the game. It's got DiMucci at third, Miles at second, and Wright at first. And Wright can fly on the bases. Outfield playing shallow. Squared a bunt, pulled back and taken for a ball. That would have been a safety squeeze. Trying to do anything to get another run across. It was 3-0 Southern New Hampshire going to the bottom of the 6th. But the Golden Rams had a home run by Ferrara. That got them going a little bit. Another run in the 7th on the bases loaded walk you talked about. And then 3 runs in here in the 8th. A big hit, the Miles 2-run single. And it gets behind the catcher, Mulcahy. Here comes the runner from third, DiMucci. He scores without a throw. And the Golden Rams now have a 3-run lead.
Still only 1 ball has been put into play.
And the other runners move up 90 feet at second and third. I believe that'll be a pass ball. So they only have 1 hit in the inning. But 5 hit batsmen. And now that pass ball, as I think that'll be scored that way. And Horn has a count of 2-1. The infield comes in and he takes low and away, 3-1.
Yeah, entire infield is in. No longer a threat of a double play through traditional means.
Have you ever seen 5 hit batsmen in 1 inning?
All the time.
By 3 different pitchers.
And
that's the thing. I mean, it's not one guy who was just wild, and now White's going to leave. We're going to see another pitcher. So this will be the 4th pitcher of the 8th inning and the 5th pitcher of the game for Southern New Hampshire.
They'll inherit a 3-1 count.
And we will tell you about Connor Wagstaff when we come back. What a disastrous inning for Southern New Hampshire and a fortuitous one for Westchester, up by 3 in the 8th. Connor Wagstaff out of the bullpen for Southern New Hampshire, and we might be seeing history, Lincoln, as we've seen 5 hit batsmen in this 8th inning by Southern New Hampshire pitchers. We're told that the record is 7 in any D2 game in 1 inning. I can't even believe that happened.
Yeah, I'm okay not being a part of history.
Well, this might be D2 championship history. And it all started with that one by Ferrara, I should say. And then just one guy after another getting drilled.
That's 2. That's 3. 4. A couple batters later.
Boom.
Back on track.
That was right. Wright is on second base now. Miles is on third base. The infield is in. And the batter, Justin Horn, in the middle of a count, the pitcher was pulled. White was pulled. It's 3-1 here. And that is ball 4. Way high. So in addition to the hit batsman, now we get a walk to load the bases for Joe Kalick.
Well, Horn, that's his now third walk of the day. He's getting left out of the HBP parade. Not this guy. Joe Kalick was the OG.
Kalick has walked, been hit by a pitch, struck out, and grounded into a double play. 6-3 now, Westchester with 4 runs in, and he takes a strike, 0-1. And if he gets a base hit, it could be an insurmountable lead for the Penmen to try to come back from. So Wagstaff, the 5th pitcher of the game, the 4th pitcher in this inning.
Remember, this game began with Westchester's first 3 men walking.
Way high, 1-1. Yeah.
Always enjoy a good full circle moment.
Right.
Or in this
But
case,
nobody scored.
No. Making up for lost time.
6 walks in the game and 6 hit batsmen. So that's 12. 6 walks, 6 hit batsmen, 12 that have been free passes. Wagstaff, 3.27 ERA, 0-0 record. High fly ball center field. We'll see if this is deep enough to score the run. Tavares lining it up. He's got it. Tagging at third is Miles, headed to the plate, and he does score. So Miles, who had the big 2-run single, scores another run, a 5-run frame, 7-3 Westchester.
Exactly 2 balls through the 9 batters we've seen this inning have been batted into play. They have both led to runs.
And now as they bat around, Mike Ferrara, who started this by getting hit by a pitch. I think we've shown him being hit by that pitch twice. And it's painful to watch. I'm in pain just watching all those hit by pitches. Ferrara also a home run, 1 for 3, doing all of this on his 22nd birthday. And he might be able to celebrate tonight. You can't celebrate too long, though, if you survive this game, because you're playing again tomorrow in another elimination game against the loser of our nightcap, Angelo State in North Greenville, which is scheduled to start at 6 o'clock Eastern time. But Southern New Hampshire had to think that they were going to survive because they were up 3-0 going to the bottom of the 6th, only to give up 7 straight runs. High fly ball to center should be the inning for Tavares. But a rough one for Southern New Hampshire as Westchester able to come up with 5 runs before Horn finally flies out there to end the inning. We go to the 9th. Westchester up 7-3 on Southern New Hampshire. One flag will be dropped after this game. And right now, the Golden Rams in the driver's seat as Sam Henry leads it off for Southern New Hampshire. 1-0 the count. The Penmen will have to come back from down 4 runs here in the 9th to try to stay alive. Henry is 1 for 3, a triple and a walk. And facing Hoanitz, and there's a called strike, 1-1. Hoanitz figures to win this game the way it's turned out after that 5-run 8th for Westchester.
Yeah, his job is to throw strikes and let his defense help him out. They do not need a perfect inning from him on the rubber.
Well, the headline of this game will be the 5-hit batsman in the 8th inning for the Westchester hitters. But you also have to give credit to the Westchester pitchers because Sperone had to battle through a lot of trouble. And Rappa, he went 1 1/3 scoreless. And he left some men on base. 12 men have been left on base for the Penmen. I mean, the whole game you felt like they could have done a lot more damage. Now it's a full count. They could have done a lot more damage earlier and felt more comfortable about their lead. Instead, it was just a 3-0 lead, and now they're down by 4. Henry takes outside ball 4 as they try to get something going.
This is not the time to paint the corners. Every single one of these bats is a dangerous bat for Southern New Hampshire, one at a time, but none of them can tie this ball game up unless free passes start putting runners on.
Well, now you have Nick Schwartz coming up, 1 for 4 RBI single. He's also struck out twice and grounded into a double play. Hoanitz deals way outside, 1-0. So you talk about the 6 walks and the 6 hit batsmen for the Penmen pitchers. Meanwhile, on the other side of it, 7 walks for the Westchester pitchers, and they've hit a batter. So they've got 8 free passes. So we've had 20 free passes. Take the whole family to Disneyland and get 20 free passes. And here comes the pitching coach once again, John Fleming, out to talk to Hoanitz because, you walk the first batter. Now you're down 1-0 in the count. You got a 4-run lead. You got to throw strikes. And there is action in the Golden Rams bullpen. A left-hander is throwing.
Yeah, even the best hitters that we're seeing this week are 400 hitters. That means they're failing 6 times out of 10. Got to be able to trust your defense to make plays for you. Evan Snyder would be the next man to come on.
All right, Nick Schwartz trying to keep his team going here. Penmen have out-hit the Golden Rams. 10-9, ground ball in the hole at shortstop. Sestawicki is there, throws it away at second base. Runners on the move. Henry goes to third, and Schwartz goes to second as Sestawicki makes a throwing error at shortstop.
Well, there goes my theory of trusting your defense.
Boy, these two teams, they're just handing the other team opportunities, right?
Not the easiest of plays, but it's one we expect to see executed.
Yeah, there was no chance for Miles to catch that and try to keep his foot on the bag. So now Dakota Mulcahy, who was 1 for 4, a single. And if he gets on base, all of a sudden the tying run comes to the plate for the Penmen here in the 9th. What a wild last few innings here. Mulcahy takes high, 1-0. So the freshman, Hoanitz, trying to compose himself here after a walk and then an error by his shortstop. And his shortstop now playing straight up the middle as they play Mulcahy to pull in the infield, not so much in the outfield, 2-0. Well, at what point does Coach LaRosa say, you know what, I got to get him out of there. He's not throwing strikes. And then the catcher, John DiMucci, comes out to talk to Hoanitz. You could tell him, hey, throw strikes, but that doesn't mean he can go out there and do it. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says sometimes if your mechanics are off a little bit.
Well, and now basically the next 5 guys in the lineup with a single swing of the bat can make this a 1-run ball game.
They do have a left-hander in the pen. You got a lefty at the plate here, and then you got a couple more lefties in the lineup after this. It might have made sense to bring him in here, but if Hoanitz doesn't throw strikes to Mulcahy, you'd think he'd be gone with 2 lefties coming up after this. And there's another ball, 3-0.
Yeah, that bat needs to stay on the back shoulder of Mulcahy here.
Is he taking all the way? Yes, he is, and that's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. Can you believe it? Bases loaded, nobody out. The tying run is coming to the plate, and guess who's coming up? Michael LaRocca, who hit a home run over the scoreboard and right back in the 4th inning. And he's thinking, I could do that again and tie this game.
But it's not going to be against Dylan Hoanitz.
And he's walked 2 in the inning, had the error at short, and that's going to do it for him. As Coach LaRosa says, I've seen enough. He'll go to a left-handed reliever out of the bullpen. We'll tell you about him. As coming out of the pen is Evan Snyder. We're in the 9th inning of a wild one here in our second elimination game on NCAA. Let's go back to the 4th inning, shall we? This was Michael LaRocca, a no doubt about it shot over the scoreboard. You can see it bouncing into the forest out there. His second home run of the year. So we saw that. Now he's coming up in a bases-loaded situation, representing the potential tying run, down 7-3 in the 9th inning of an elimination game. And he will be facing left-hander Evan Snyder, his first appearance here at the D2 Championship. Only his 7th appearance all season, all in relief. He's only worked 7 innings, giving up 3 runs, 5 hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. So what a spot to come in when you really haven't pitched that much this season.
You still pitch around LaRocca with bases loaded?
No. Got to come at him. So Snyder, the senior from Cheney, Pennsylvania, 5'9". Runners lead all around. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 0-1.
Again, by the way, it's the 9th inning. Southern New Hampshire came into this inning with 3 outs left maybe on their season on short notice after Westchester finally grabbed a lead last inning.
0-1 pitch. Foul back to the screen, 0-2. You've got Henry at third, Schwartz at second, Mulcahy at first. None of them have reached on a hit. It's been a walk, an error, and another walk. We've seen 21 free passes, walks, and hit by pitches, and then an error in this inning. LaRocca behind 0-2, just trying to stay alive. Strike 3 called. Little hesitation there by Drew Eaton, the home plate umpire, but it was there, and that's out number 1. Now Alex Kennedy, who hit a home run a couple of days ago, his 3rd of the year. What a breaking ball. Kennedy, 2 RBIs in this tournament. Got a sac fly and a walk today. And he takes a breaking ball in the outside corner, called strike 0-1. It was Kennedy who hit the first pitch that he saw in that first game Sunday after a home run was hit. They had back-to-back home runs on consecutive pitches in that game against Angelo State. He is the tying run at the plate with 1 out. The double play ends the ball game. Breaking ball in there, called strike 0-2 as Snyder is dealing here. Johannes did not have his control to start out the inning, so the left-hander here is settling things down so far. They have another pitcher in the bullpen for the Golden Rams. Kennedy waiting, the 0-2. Strike 3 called. That was at the letters and the inside corner, maybe a borderline call. Kennedy was barking. 2 consecutive strikeouts looking. 2 down for Ricky Jimenez, who hit a 3-run homer on Sunday. 1 for 3 today.
Yeah, he can still make this a brand new ball game with 1 mistake pitch from Snyder.
Right-hander Nolan Graber throwing in the bullpen for Westchester. Jimenez takes low, and it's 1-0. Jimenez, his home run was his 7th of the year the other day. Runners leading all around with 2 down. Westchester 1 out away from surviving at the D2 championship, trying to eliminate Southern New Hampshire. Curveball hit in the air, left field, playable for Kalick. He's got it. The ball game is over. Westchester comes back from down 3-0. They score 5 in the 8th with a lot of help on hit by pitches. And the Golden Rams survive. They win it 7-3. Southern New Hampshire is going home as the flag drops.
Just when you think you've seen it all over the years in baseball, we saw a few more things here late in this one, including the Golden Rams in the bottom of the 8th putting up 5 runs, not even putting that many balls in play. But they find themselves a lead, needed 3 outs before giving up 4 runs, and they get the job done.
And for Southern New Hampshire, they will lament the fact that they left 15 men on base. They walked 6, they hit 6 batters, 5 of them in the 8th inning. It was a rough way to leave the D2 championship, that's for sure. Join us again at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Our second game of the day, Angelo State and North Greenville. For Lincoln Rose and our entire crew, I'm Joe Castellano. Congratulations to the Golden Rams as they remain here at the D2 championship.